Hi, I'm Ray Degley, and I'm a physical therapist and bike fitter for Kinetic Energy PT. We're going to go through an off-the-bike evaluation and just to see some mobility and some strength and tie that into some pre-exercises for getting on the bike. Right now I'm just going to do a little evaluation. It's very general, but I want to see it. Can you just follow your hands down your legs and bend forward, touch your toes. And so Marie's got really nice and pretty adequate motion when it comes to touching her toes and hamstring length. What I'm also looking though is not just the hamstring mobility, but what happens as we start to move up the chain here. And do we notice any rotations that come on in the kind of mid of the thoracic spine as well? There's just a little bit of some tightness through this right side. So I love looking at this position because not only does it challenge the posterior chain or muscle groups, but we can also start to see, hey, like we noticed on the bike that we saw some right-sided, inefficiencies. And then as we start to work our way up, we start to see, boy, there's some rib stiffness on this right side. And that could be from, anything, history, or even just this new riding style. Now what I'd love to see is a single leg deadlift. So I'd love to see just balance and motion. Can you take that back leg back while you go forward in a single leg deadlift? So she does really well. She gets into the position. It's a little shaky, and you can see that that left side is struggling to balance through the motion. She keeps a really nice position though, but there is that, and that's something that we're going to probably kind of clue in on a little bit more as we go. Come on back up, and then let's try the right side. And we see a little bit of the shaking, and not. I would say if we're going to look at comparing left to right, they're fairly similar. I would say maybe that left side had a little bit more of that shaking and stuff, but she balances really well. She can get into the position, and she has the flexibility to control being out in this position. So come on back up. Almost like mimicking being on the bike, we're going to get into a position and just see how she is from a balance standpoint and strength standpoint. And once she loads into the position, she does really well. There's not much movement of the knee. She's pretty darn stable. Let's check the other side. Nice, and she does really well. You can just see she's got great strength through here. There's really not a left and right discrepancy when it comes to how she's holding the position or being in the position. And come on back up. Once she's in a nice riding position with some resistance, how well can she maintain a position without hands on the handlebars? So get kind of situated so that you feel comfortable in the saddle, feel connected in, especially with the pedal stroke. The reason why we look at this is it's really important. If you were going to go grab a water bottle, take your hand off one of the handlebars, it's like you need that ability to maintain the position, and that goes through the connection of both the legs, and position in the saddle, and then having that core stability and support to be able to maintain that. So go ahead when you're ready to see if you can, take the hands off the handlebars, and we'll kind of watch what happens. What we look for is, okay, how much does maybe she start to pull back, and sit up. And she does a really good job. Actually, she's done a great job accommodating to this position. Can you go a little bit more forward and try to stay forward? There you go. It's seat, and you feel it.
That it's
I know. Yeah. So you feel like you're gonna fall forward a little bit. Okay, got it. But you do pretty well with it. And so she has the ability to actually hold herself. And she doesn't need to do this for long lengths of time, but she needs to feel comfortable to say, hey, can I take my hands off the handlebars for a second?